for those who don't know me, my name is Nika Thomas, and I am the Director of Advertising and Sponsorship Sales at CLA. So I'm actually doing this for Danielle today. She's at a distributor show. So yeah. All right. For our facilitator is going to be the lovely Monica Wells from Happy Laundry. Thank you, Monica. And we have three great panelists. Our first is KaTesha Anderson from Cozy Clean Laundry. Hi, KaTesha. Our next is Hannah Chapman with Wash Bar Laundry. Hi, Hannah.
Hi.
And our next panelist is Natalie Matus with First Class Laundry Services. So welcome all the panelists.
Thank you.
Hand it over to Monica.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nika. If I could ask the panelists to type in their email address in the chat also, just in case anybody has any questions that we don't get to today. I know this is an evolving topic for industry, well, most industries. So yeah, and then also I would encourage any attendees that are able to be on camera, that would be awesome. We will get to some questions in the chat later in the show, if you will, the show. I don't know what is happening right now. Anyway, but I'm so excited to talk with Hannah and KaTesha and Natalie today because I was researching and I was thinking, man, you know, we just kind of put a call out there, like who would like to be a part of this panel? And all three of you have very different businesses and business models. So I would love to hear from each one of you to just let us know, like, you know, when did you start your business? What does your business look like today? And maybe what are you looking forward to in the future? Like, what are your growth plans, or what are your plans for your laundry in the future? Hope that's okay. That's totally unscripted. So whoever wants to go first, I invite you. maybe Natalie.
Sure, I'll start.
Thank you.
My name's Natalie Matus. I own First Class Laundry Services here in West Palm Beach, Florida. My family opened the laundry about 10 years ago here in West Palm. It was my mom's, funny enough, my mom like retired from being a preschool owner and a doctorate in education. And one of her friends opened a laundry, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. And she saw how profitable it was and wanted to get in on it. You know, my mom was probably 65 at the time. Now, obviously, 10 years later, she is in her mid 70s. So this is, you know, she's here maybe once a week. You know, she's a retiree. She travels the world and it's great for her. But she's slowing down a bit in terms of wanting to be in the business. So my brother and I have kind of, you know, been at it in terms of being here on a daily basis, trying to, you know, keep it going. We started offering more services. We have self-service. We have you know, wash, dry, fold service. People drop off and pick up. And then we also do pick up and delivery now. That's something that I started a couple of years ago based on the fact that, you know, you want to sustain the business, but also grow the business as well. So we started pick up and delivery with my plan to get more commercial business. That was a huge goal for me. I set out, I'm not a salesperson. I'm just not that person. I'm very friendly, very outgoing, but I'm not a salesperson whatsoever. So I found a sales.
Okay.
I hired a company called Let Grow.
Okay.
And Let Grow helps laundromat owners go from zero businesses to having a huge plethora of commercial business. And I credit them to everything that we have right now in terms of commercial. And it's an amazing, it's amazing how many people need laundry service.
Hold on just a second, Natalie. Christine, welcome. Can you mute yourself, please? I don't have capacity to do that. Christine Lay. Want to make sure everybody can.
So,
I don't think she realizes that she's unmuted.
I'll send her a
the,
chat
the
too.
banner
Okay,
that's
go
in the
ahead.
office,
Go ahead,
can we get
Natalie.
rid of that? We have to keep that, or can we get rid of it? The
Can
one that's
you
behind
mute
the printer.
her, Mika?
Oh, yeah, I can take that off. No, no, no. I
Yeah.
was gonna stick it in the basket to give to Lion Linda as part of their milkman. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know who left it.
Christine?
Sorry.
Christine?
Hold
Okay,
Sorry.
here we go. That's okay, thank you. All right, continue, Natalie. So a lot of people need laundry.
Yeah, I
services.
mean, you don't realize like what kinds of businesses need laundry. I mean, we're doing stuff for party rental places, obviously, and those are and hotels. But you have Airbnb management companies that own several, several properties that need, constant, rotation of their laundry. We do a flood restoration business. We do, geez, I mean, all kinds of different all kinds of. We just got a new party rental place. They just need tablecloths done. And other people need napkins done. Um, the flood restoration business is like a 24. They're a 24-hour business, so they're constantly calling us to do their laundry because they're dealing with, you know floods and mold and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I mean, that was a huge goal for me, was to start the commercial side of the business, because that's where we see the biggest, you know, the it's like, I don't want to say gravy on top of having a laundry business, but it's just, more services that you can offer to the public. So for us, that's sort of where we're at. And in terms of what my plans are, it's just to build on top of what we're doing now. I mean, like I said, there's no lack of everyone needs laundry. Everyone needs their laundry done. I have moms who call us and they're just overwhelmed, and my sister-in-law has 5 kids, and like she's like, I just can't do it, so we pick it up, we do it, and same day. We do a lot of stuff same day. So a lot of people count on us, and it's a great business.
And Natalie, thank you so much. Just to clarify, so you do have like a laundromat, like people come in and do their own laundry
Yeah,
as
we have
well.
we have
Okay.
39 washers and 39 dryers, and we're busy. I mean, we were open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day.
Awesome.
And people are here at 5:30, 5:45, like waiting for us to open. Like, it's
Okay.
crazy. And the
Oh,
weekends
wow.
obviously are really busy too. So, and then
Okay.
summer comes and all the kids are running around, and it's crazy.
Good times. Good times.
Oh,
We need some technology for that, right? No, just kidding.
oh,
All right, KaTesha, do you want to go next?
Hello, ladies. Good morning, and gentlemen. My name's KaTesha. I am from, my laundromat is named Cozy Clean Laundry, located in Decatur, Georgia. So, I opened in 2017 in December, providing services such as self-service, drop-off, wash and fold, dry cleaning, pickup and delivery services, residential and commercial pickup and delivery. And then we even got into linen rentals, particularly towels. And so the business grew. I didn't initially have that model in mind. I just wanted to be stay-at-home mom with a self-service laundromat so I wouldn't have to do anything. That does not exist. There's no such thing. I repeat, there's no such thing as a hands-off passive income laundromat that will just bring in droves of quarters, and you just will break your back in collecting quarters every day because they're just overflowing the Home Depot, bucket that, it's not real. Don't spend $300 to $1,000 for someone to help you. Okay, just buy a CLA membership. All right. Okay. So I know Monica's like, ooh, plug. So So yeah, so I built the business because I saw the opportunities that existed, the opportunities I was missing out on by not, expanding my services, and my brain just works that way. I'm very ambitious. And so very successful. We had commercial accounts, ranging with Airbnbs to then, getting a Tide account, Peloton account. It just was it's a great business. However, my model required me to be there all the time because I built myself into it, not knowing I was doing that, and felt dragged versus, leading my business, if that makes sense. And so I then experienced a fire, not because of my dryers, not because of my washers, but because of in the break room there was a microwave and a fan and really electrical the electrical was dated, and so they never could really find out where it stemmed from, but the store had to be rewired because it was out of code. And so it had me down for about almost 3 years, believe it or not. Things happen. I mean, it's a process. And so thankfully I had a good team that includes a lawyer, a public adjuster, and a mighty prayer team, and a great laundry association, a great group of laundry owners that were just very supportive and encouraging. And so I reopened actually about 3 weeks ago. And so, in this time, I would consider myself in a greater situation. I was able to improve get better, larger machines. I now offer more options of pay. I love my store. I mean, I'm like all in love with it all over again. And lessons learned from my first rodeo I'm now applying this time. I'm not building myself as part of the heartbeat of the store, As you can see, I'm taking this call from my home office. So not saying I'm not gonna be there, I'll be there later, but just finding some balance in regards to running the store. I am a mom of three, so I'm not, so I have to think about, how this store needs to pace itself, and well, how it needs to operate, and how it'll fit. But yeah, I don't want to take up more time because I know this is more introductions, and of course we'll get into the details of what I'm doing now and the technological advancements that I have in this go round that I didn't have then, that I have now. And Monica, give it back to you so we can hear from Hannah.
Okay, well, I just want to say thank you for saying what you said, especially about the quarters. My husband and I talk about that all the time. There's so many influencers out there right now just showing, like the rate of return, and it's like anything else, right? It's what you, it's reflective of how much effort you put in towards it. So it's not a set it and forget it kind of a thing, and just industry. I mean, it can be, but if you want a certain level of success, then there's something to be said for that. So thank you for that shout out, and I'm looking forward to hearing more. All right, Hannah, you're up.
Good morning. So my name is Hannah Chapman. I live in Oklahoma. We're currently at the lake right now, so I'm in my RV. That's why you see what's going on. But kind of like KaTesha said, your goal is to work yourself out of a job, and I'm trying to work myself out of a job, so I'm enjoying a few days out. So we have 4 stores. I'm in 3 different communities in Oklahoma. We're kind of marching up I-35, which goes all the way from Texas to Kansas and all the way up. So we're kind of in the south central area of Oklahoma. Our stores range from anywhere from 20 washers, 20 dryers to about 25 washers, 25 dryers. So we're in smaller communities. We're still considered small market. Our largest town is in a town of 25,000. So, and our smallest store is in a town of 6,000, which it actually has the largest margins, which is kind of what you wouldn't think. People kind of discredit some of those small town laundries, but you do a great job. You offer a great service at a good price, and they'll keep coming back. So we're self-serve laundromats. We also offer wash and fold. We have pickup and delivery, both commercial and household. we have introduced pressing. We don't really have a connection with the dry cleaners, and my husband's like, I don't really want to do dry cleaning. So props to you that do both. Great job, Natalie, doing that. And so, but we do offer pressing, and it's been a great service to bring in those people that weren't originally wash and fold, and they come to us just for our pressing, and then we get them hooked in wash and fold. And it's those moms that have husbands that work outside the home. They don't have time to do it. They've got 4 kids. So it's been a great addition. And then this year we actually added a self-serve dog wash to our newest store that we just finished last year. And it has been a great addition. It's a good community piece because people are very passionate about their dogs. They may not know that they need us for laundry. And then because they're literally right next door, they're like, hey, I'll just peek in. And it's been a great generator of bringing people in that we wouldn't have thought of. So we started in 2019 over Christmas family dinner. My dad was like, hey, Dr. Joe, which was the only family doctor in town, quit practice, and he opened laundromats. So kind of like Natalie, your mom was an educator and got out of it because of the thing. So that's what started it. And we opened our first store in 2020. And then we've added a store almost every year since. So.
And what does the future look like for you, Hannah?
So right now we're working on an acquisition in one of the towns that we're already in, that we already have 2 stores in there. And they're kind of like, hey, you're pretty much putting us out. Will you just buy our business? And so we're like, hey, this is interesting. So we have that. And then we're starting a ground up build in the fall. So yeah, so we're just kind of expanding and growing. My husband said, I want to have 10. And I was like, oh, sure, that's fine. And then we have 4. And I'm like, that's a lot. That's a lot. So I also homeschool our kids. And so trying to balance the home life, being a mom and working, and it is not passive. It is not sit it and forget it. And so we grind a lot. Our kids know how to empty machines. They help us a lot, but we're just raising up the next generation so they understand what hard work is and how to work hard and not just get a handout. So.
I love that. Thank you. And KaTesha, I don't know that we talked about what's in the future for you, for your laundry business.
Well, the future for me is I definitely want to expand with more locations. I am this go round, I offered all the things when I was open, prior to the fire, and was successful in them. But what I like about this chance, the second go round, is that, I'm actually going to exclude some things that it might have brought in money, but when I think about it, I really didn't like it. And what I'm learning is that because it brought in money, it don't mean you got to do it. It's like a friend of mine who owns a family practice she's a nurse practitioner. And she's like, we're women, right? She was like, I don't like doing pap smears. And she was told, well, you don't have to do it. You can outsource that because you have a family, but don't mean you have to offer all the things, because, and that's something I've learned, like, I don't have to offer all the things, I can outsource. So that's one of the things that I'm looking to do this go round. I want to focus more on commercial because I really enjoyed that space more than I did residential pickup and delivery. And so, like Natalie was saying, there's just margins there that I really, really like. And though I'm not a salesperson, I've become one. And so I actually did emergency services for a local jail. And even though it was a few days, Natalie, you know what we can charge, in that time frame. And what I made in that span was, man, compared to residential pickup having to do that, spending like crazy, Natalie, I'm like, nope, I think I'm just going to try this commercial space and just really dive in and do that. So that is really one of the spaces that I'm really wanting, emergency laundry services. And she mentioned party rentals, Natalie, I'm doing that as well. And so just really developing that space and actually taking on a different spin, and companies are looking for community activities. And so I'm wanting to take a direction of where I actually have companies that I've approached through my chamber to actually help them with their social responsibility. So, so then that way, free laundry day is part of, multiple businesses' corporate responsibility, which, so I'm using different, I'm taking different approaches to bringing in money, but also, so I'm being very, and we'll get more into that, where I'm just, getting very creative and how and how I'm approaching different companies and building partnerships, because that is my strength. I can build partnerships very well with business owners, and so I'm wanting to capitalize on my own strengths, and as I do that. And by the way, I do work full time too. So for those that are like, can I do this and work full time? I work full time too, and that wasn't since 2017. That's been for the last 2 years. So I just want to put that spin in there, since we have a broad audience here. So no one will feel alone.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Like, we've got super women on this call. I'm so humbled. Thank you for sharing. I love that you were talking about partnering with other businesses. I think we talk about like offering free laundry days and what that could look like. And sometimes it's just like, well, I can't give away laundry for free.
Yeah.
And especially where utilities are very expensive or labor is very expensive. But to partner with another agency to help them reach their goals so that you can look good too. Like, yes, please,
And you
let's
give them the
go.
budget, they take care of everything, and you just have a rolling calendar.
I love it. All right. Well,
Yes.
let's get into the meat of the morning. So when you started your business, like outside of washers and dryers, like we need washers and dryers to do the laundry business. What was like the first next thing, or what was the next solution technology wise that you needed to be able to run your business? Let's start with Natalie.
So you're asking what technology I needed, or what we're doing? I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah, just like like everybody needs washers and dryers to run a laundry business. What was the next thing, or what was the most important thing after that? Or what was one of the basic things that you needed to make sure you had in order to run your business?
I mean, in order to, to grow the business, obviously needed to do the pickup and delivery. Our employees are huge for us. I mean, we have to have the most dependable people that we can have. I mean, we have 2 drivers. We have, what do we have? 7 employees altogether. And we're just, I mean, they're like the meat and bones of the place for us. I mean, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. is what is that? 16 hours a day. I mean, we're open 16 hours. West Palm Beach doesn't allow you to be open 24 hours, nor do I even think I would really want to be. But our employees, I mean, they're up at, the crack of dawn, and just having them, be reliable to be here every single day. The drivers who are coming and going and running around, I think that's kind of like what we need. But at the same time, you have to have the technology. There's so much technology involved. We don't use quarters. We don't have quarters. We're a fully laundry card. Um, these are our laundry cards. Everybody owns one of these cards that comes in. If they don't have one, they've got to buy one. But we're on laundry cards, so we don't do quarters. We're cashless, so we're completely cashless. So, credit cards or laundry cards are kind of like what we use in terms of, but everything has to be working, and technology is it's rough. Like our machines, everything's got to be up and running. Everything has to be working in order for us to be able to run the day. So between the technology and our workers, I think that's what the things that you have to have, that's what you have to have here. I mean, I've never understood like a non-attendant laundromat. Like I don't understand. That boggles my mind. People have to be here. Someone's got to be here. And if you're not here, you don't know if anything's broken, what needs to be fixed. People might lose money in the machine what they're putting the dollars in. There's has to be people, that's the like the basics of it all. So yeah, that's pretty much for us the needs, for a
Okay.
daily run well laundromat.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And what I heard really like the technology piece, like that's a great point, is like, how do people pay for their laundry services, right? And there is a trend in the industry to go cashless. There's a trend in
The
probably
world.
the world, right? Like since the pandemic, all the things. Um, so I really appreciate you shouting that out. And also it reminded me that as this is a Coin Laundry Association sponsored event, our CLA is very brand agnostic. So for those of you that are listening in, if you hear something and you say like, Natalie, I want to know what company you're using for your card, that's why I asked them to put their email address in the chat box. You can reach out to them directly and find out what they're using specifically. Because we won't really be talking about brands today. But if there's piece of equipment or a piece of technology that is really helping somebody move their business forward, then I invite any of you and all of you to connect with one another outside of this meeting. So thank you, Natalie, for getting us started. Hannah, you want to jump in?
Yeah, so I think beyond that, our next most important piece of technology, and we use it almost around the clock, is our point of sale system. Our point of sale system does so much for us. It generates marketing campaigns for us, and those run as scheduled. So like while we're gone this week, our marketing campaigns were already scheduled ahead of time. I'm not having to be in the store. I'm not having to be logged into my computer unless I choose to do that. So it runs our marketing campaigns. It gives me every metric I could ever imagine plus more. I'm a data junkie, and so I love that. It's great for me, but I can see who's satisfied, who's not. I can see who's doing the amount of poundage that they're supposed to be doing versus they're not. So I can identify weaker links in basically any area of my business just off that one piece of technology, just from our point of sale system. We have customer communication. They can text us directly if they have a question about their order, or they're like, hey, I forgot to tell you to spot treat this green shirt that I spilled mustard on. That literally happened last week. Like, I'm like, yes, Larry, I have it taken care of. You got it. So also it generates customer reviews for us, which is huge. So we have over 600 5-star Google reviews, which in today's day and age, like that is how people find you. If you don't get anything else out of this, you need a Google page and you need to be collecting those reviews, because we get people that pass through. We're on 35. People pass through like, hey, my kid got sick in the car. I need to do this before we get to grandma's house. Who closest laundromat to me? Boom, it pops up. We have all these 5-star reviews. They're going to show up. So that alone, you don't have to do any legwork for that. So anyway, I'm big into that. So also our POS gives us pickup and delivery scheduling for customers on demand on their schedule, but we also have geofencing. So we geofence certain areas during certain days so that our drivers so we're basically creating our own routes without the customer knowing. So we run certain zones of our towns on certain days, and then that goes into our calendar. So when they go into schedule, if they live on the north side of town, they're only available for pickup on Thursdays and Fridays. So again, just with that one piece of technology, it also has an app for our driver. So it automatically routes them based on what they have for the day, that they're not having to pull out their piece of paper and Google Map where they're going, or MapQuest. That shows my age. They don't have to MapQuest to get where they're going. It also generates promos and coupons. We can do that. We do that through text messaging and email. They don't have to have a paper copy or anything to come in, and we can base that based on dates, how their dollar spent, how often they're coming in, all those types of things. We also have a loyalty program, and they're able to get gift cards, both hard copy and e-gift. So if, grandma lives in Washington, where you are, Monica, and her daughter lives here, and she just had a baby, and she's like, hey, how can I support my daughter? I can buy her an e-gift card where she gets pickup and delivery to her house. She doesn't have to leave with her newborn, and everything's taken care of. And it's literally through that one piece of software. So if we didn't have our POS system, I won't say brands, you can email me. we'll talk about it. We wouldn't be where we are, especially running 4 different locations, and they're all interconnected. So we can have somebody that visits our Ada store and then goes to Paul's Valley the next week, and everything's connected. Their notes, their services, their preferences, everything's connected. So it's beautiful.
I love that. I have a follow-up question for you, Hannah. Like, have you used the same software solution this whole time, or did you evolve into the solution that you're in now?
So we have had the same system from the beginning. So we did a lot of research before we started. I told you I'm a data junkie. I'm also a nurse, so I did a ton of research. That's just kind of my niche anyway. And so coming into this, we did a lot. We tested a lot. I think we visited over 100 different laundromats before we opened our first one. So we were some road warriors, and so it served us well in that space for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, KaTesha, how about you? Technology outside of washers and dryers?
Yes, so I'll say like I noted before the fire, I did have I was using a various platforms, which I don't agree with. I mean, you definitely want to streamline everything from in one, which now I'm using, and I'll talk from that perspective. But it's important, as Hannah was talking about, as you have different services that you offer, that you're not manually doing anything. You want to be able to log in from wherever you are, to be able to manage your business. I know one of the things I knew I had to have was automated locking doors, automated lighting system, because I did not want anyone to be responsible for turning the lights on or off, or unlocking the front door, locking the front door. And so those to me were good, that was a no-brainer for me. And also to have an alarm system that you can disable and arm anywhere from your home if you're on vacation, or you can set a timer so it'll arm and disarm at a set time. So those were, when it came to operations, those were very key for me. In that. And again, I have a family, so, I'm getting kids ready for school in the morning, so that's one less thing I need to be thinking about. If somebody say, I can't find my key to open up the front, those type of things. You just, you don't want that. I didn't need that. So, those are, definitely, and it's funny because I had a mentor he's still my mentor at the time, and he told me that's not going to work. How can you run a business that way? He was a very successful laundromat owner, but he had ran laundromats for 30 years and was in retirement. And for him, waking up every morning, being there all day, closing up, that was the keys to success. And so, you have to make it into what you need it to be, and so that was a key, that was a lesson for me to learn, that, yeah, you have great people around you, but you got to find what's going to work for you in your situation. So yeah, so those 3 things, as I noted: security system, automatic door locking, lighting on a timer, and then also to being able to track, your inventory with your POS system. I was all quarters before the fire, and I hated that. I mean, trying to count all that stuff, and then you accidentally drop it and the quarters roll out everywhere, and then you having oh my gosh, it just was, it was just, oh, y'all know the feelings. And so, that was one of the things that I was like, okay, from a phased approach of growing the business. Some people take a phased approach, but I believe now that go for it on that first go round. I think that do it scared. That's one of the things I wish I would have done when I first opened in 2017. It's had all the card system, the debit card, all that from the beginning. I have it now, but I didn't. But what I did have, I was using geofencing, like Hannah was, pickup and delivery. That was a game changer for me, having a database where everybody just is in there, and you can offer different, hey, promotions, and also making sure it's streamlined with your accounting system too. That's key too. You know, there's some systems, they're great, but you know, you want to make sure that they play well with what you use for your accounting. You know, if it's QuickBooks, I don't know what you might use, but that was key for me. And so I was glad to have a system that could upload into QuickBooks. I'm not gonna say seamlessly, but I could do it. So those things, even the text messaging, I was using even my phone system. You know, I like the automated, you know, I was using Uma, and where somebody call and you can, you know, they get a automatic operator. Welcome to, you know, you can type into the system what you want the operator to say, press 1 for this, press 2 for this, press 3 for that. So that helped too, also with managing calls, you know, so that was a plus. Also too, I would say you know, and I would say, we could try to do things on our own, but I'd like to lean on the fact of dealing with the experts. You know, I was the one that was trying to build my own website, and I have an IT background, so there's some things I can do. But I realized too that even though I can do it, I wasn't the best person to do it. My time was very valuable, and that's something that I've learned now, that sometimes it's better just to pay somebody else to do it. I mean, really, you know, you think you're saving money, you're really not. Uh, you're
Yeah,
really not saving
what's
money.
the price versus the cost, right?
Yeah, you're
What do you
really,
pay
it's
for it versus the cost?
absolutely, Monica.
Yeah,
You're really not saving money, and you're definitely not saving time.
yeah,
So I think, you know, making sure within your advancement that you hire people that are proficient, and that's what they do. So then that way, you know, you can give those things away, and you can focus on building the business and being the CEO of the business. Trying to think of anything else that Hannah or Natalie didn't talk about, that really helped me a lot. You mentioned Google Business, and I don't think people understand. I think people underutilize the free stuff. But you're right in regards to the Google business page. I mean, you really, that's great. Oh, I forgot. There's also a way that when people come in, you can collect their information when they get online, get on your Wi-Fi. That's also an opportunity to collect information from your customers. So, you know, they just like when you go to a hotel and in order to get on their Wi-Fi, you gotta log in. You know, you got to put in your email address or your text or what have you. They collect that information, you know, and that's also a good service, I think, that you can look into as a laundromat owner or potential in regards to being able to collect information from those that are there, because in that way you can text them promotions. You know, you can email them, depending on which, you know, route you go with. You know, I know Jamie is a great friend of CLA. She leans towards getting phone numbers versus email addresses. And so that, I think that's a great you know, service to add when it comes to promotions. If you don't have a system already in place that's built into what you have, that doesn't do that for you.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's a lot. That's a laundry list of technology to see what I did there. Technology to consider as you're either building or evolving your laundromat. I want to ask, and this can be open to anybody. I'm not like going to call on anybody for this one, but can you tell me, like, was there any piece of equipment or software that you were like, I just have to have this in order to run my laundry business, and then later decided that it wasn't necessary?
I don't know.
yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, you're right.
That's okay.
Yeah, I don't
No,
think
you need
so.
it all.
Yeah,
You need everything.
I think it was the opposite, where I thought that I didn't need it. And
Sure.
then I tried to
Okay.
do it.
Okay.
And then I realized, oh, you really needed this. So,
Okay.
I
I
think
mean, that's the side. What'd you say, Hannah?
I was gonna say technology automates so much for us. And I think kind of like what Tisha said,
Yeah.
like the more that you add to it, the more you're out. And so the more that you can automate with technology, it just benefits you more than starting without it.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay, like a secondary question. So, what's the biggest barrier to implementing technology or things that are changing? I mean, no, my husband and I had changed software, like point of sale systems a couple of years ago, and it was literally a nightmare, y'all. Like and we're gonna have to do it again within the next year or two. But so like that specifically was complicated because we're not the only ones using the software, right? Like there are other people involved.
I just changed software, and it's been rough. And I'm, everyone's, you're educated, you're like, I can figure this out, like I know what I'll figure it out. Constantly calling support. And it's like the same guy, it's like a family owned, I mean, it's a pretty big company, but when you call the support, it's like the same guys. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm calling again and again and again. But you just have to like work through it. It's hard. It's hard to change,
Yeah.
especially with the times. You need, like you were saying, everything needs to be integrated together, and it has to all talk to one another.
Streamline.
Streamline, yeah, everything. But then when you need to make a change, you just want to pull your hair out.
Yeah, I second that, Natalie. I didn't go with the POS system I had the first round. I changed so I could be more streamlined. However, with getting, I mean, I was literally almost pulling my hair out too, because it's like, okay, it's different. It's very different from what I had before. But once it's working great. But there's still some, there's still, like even now, there's still some things I need to call them about. And I honestly haven't, because I just don't want, I need a break from technical support right now.
I know.
It's like, oh my gosh, I felt like we were
And
talking
everything's
every day.
changing.
Yeah.
Technology changes so often, so you have to constantly.
Yes.
I mean, if it's not broken, you don't have to fix it, but at the same time, it's like you have to like deal with it. You have to change. I knew I had to change because my first system is like a whiz. I love it, but I know I needed to go with new technology, and it's hard. But I'll get there. I'll get there.
And Monica, did you say barriers? Did you sound like you had mentioned what barriers are there? Did you
Yeah,
say
like
that?
what is the biggest
Yeah, I would
barrier
say
to implementing new
barriers
technology or
for,
new?
yeah, I think it can be cost and it can be mindset. I think that, somebody might see the cost and say, oh my gosh, is that much per machine? Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me see, or it could be mindset where you're just used to doing things the way you've been doing it and you just don't want to change, and so I think you got to get over both of those,
And it's
because
not just mindset of you, right? It might be mindset of the people that are working
even
with
your
you and for
customers,
you
yeah.
and your
Oh,
customers.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Because some of my customers that came back and they were like, oh, okay. So you're doing credit card, debit card now. No, I'm good. And they come in with their roller quarters, like, okay, if that's how you want to roll. But I'm thankful that I got all the options, you know. So Hannah looked like you wanted to say something.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think a lot of it, kind of like what Monica said, like even when you do roll something out, it's the adaptation of your customers and your employees. Like you can be like, hey,
Yes.
we're gonna start pushing this, like our card readers on our machines. They now have app support. So they can now, instead of having to have a physical card, they can use their app. And trying to educate the attendants, like, hey, this is how the app works. Like make them download it. They have to use it themselves,
Yes.
and educating them to educate the
The
customer.
customers.
So a lot of the adaptability happens how we get it to them and then they get it to those customers.
Yes.
But I think that has been our, okay, I can budget, I can make the price, we can do this. And then it's like, but they have to win them over. They have to get that biggest thing where they're going to use it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I love that. We have had in the past older gentlemen deliver for us, and they're so great because they're so reliable and they are consistent and they show up and they do the work, and they just want, like, 20 hours a week, 15 hours a week, whatever, and they're retired otherwise. And that's like, those are all the great things. And then the other side of that is like, oh yeah, by the way, we're rolling out this program, and like, panic, what is going to happen?
Funny you say that, because
and then
my new system with our older gentleman driver, that's going to be a rough one.
yeah,
It's going to be
yeah.
Yeah.
So the
to
training,
show him how to use it.
the hand holding,
Training.
like, yes,
All of it.
lots of training. Okay, all of the things. I want to kind of give us some time on this last question, because there's been huge developments in AI, from the language model of ChatGPT to, I mean, even thermostats or air pressure sensors, all the things. We've talked about some of it in terms of technology, in terms of security systems and lighting and some of those things. Like, can you tell me, like, how has AI changed how you operate your business? And I'd love to hear from all three of you. You can decide who
I
goes
can
first.
speak. So as far as AI goes, for me, I say I love it. I use it in everything I do. Even what today I went to ChatGPT to help me, figure out the summer reading schedule for my kids. I mean, based off their learning level. I mean, I am it's integrated into my life to simplify it, actually. And that I see it as a tool to simplify things. And so even as it relates to my marketing strategy, if I have considered, how my approach should be, I go to I use it to help me. I put in my numbers. It produces what it does. I even have in my kids area, I had ChatGPT actually design a coloring page with Cozy Clean Laundry on it. And it designed one for it, and I printed it out, and that's what the kids, that's what they color. I mean, I've used it to even in my pitch to potential commercial customers for emergency services. It created a call script for me as it relates, so I can hand it over to my manager, say, hey, look, here's the call script. I've already got all the, the names of the businesses and the numbers. I just need for you to follow this script. When you call to Natalie, since you don't like sales, use it to help you, be the salesperson you're not. I'm
I
just
love
saying.
that. I
I
love that.
mean,
Those are all really good examples.
yeah, I mean, I have used it in areas where I am afraid or I lack or for it to feel it, and that's how I've used it. I really have, just thinking things through. I mean, it can be scary because it's like, okay, it's technology. I don't want to get so integrated with it, but you know what? I mean, we've already integrated phones into our lives. We can't go anywhere with it, so it's like, why not? I mean, the only thing I wish I had an AI body walking around the laundromat. I wish I just hire chatbots just to be in the store and just, like Star Wars, just kind of just show up in a form and just talk to people. I mean, that would be great. But, that was but that's how I approach AI and ChatGPT in my business.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me, I was in Missouri visiting another plant, and one of the couples that was there with us had the Meta glasses.
Oh, yes,
like
those Ray-Bans that have
legit. Yeah, and like they
Right.
just like touch their temple right here, like where the glasses come together with the lens, and then I'd see a bright light. Like, what is happening right now? I think we're recording what was happening.
Huh.
Anyway, that just reminded me of that. Okay, who else wants to go? How has AI shifted how you operate your business?
I just use it for social media
Mhm.
posts
That's it.
because I don't
Yeah.
know what the heck to post. I'm not good at that whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna go outsource to have social media posts done for me because again, I don't know, I'm not very good at that whole thing, but just for social media for me. I mean, I just got a huge database of residential, like a country club. um it's my mom's country club where they have, she has a directory, and she's like, you should just get the emails and start doing like marketing for that, because it's not far from the laundry anyway. I need ChatGPT to help me like put together an email blast, to get some business that way. But yeah, it's all the AI chat GPT. It's a great resource. I mean, we had Google, all along, but at the same time, this is a little bit like like a step beyond that. You can always ask Google a question, but ChatGPT, like, I mean, helps you with. Somebody said that their kid help them with their term paper for college. I mean, it's just crazy what you can do with it. So yeah, I mean, that's for me, that's what I've been, the social media posts, the marketing and things of that nature is what's helped me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hannah, how about you?
Kind of second that. We use it a lot for marketing, creating ad campaigns, those kinds of things, promotional, making sure those wordings are right where they need to be. Our software system also has an AI chatbot in it now, which is fantastic for troubleshooting for our employees. So then I'm not getting that phone call like, hey, this isn't going on. No, there's an AI chatbot, and you don't have to call support. You don't have to wait for them to chat in. The chatbot will basically take care of 99 of their problems for them, which is huge for me. Because again, that's one less thing that I'm having to do. That's one less thing that I'm having to pick up a phone for. And then we also have AI into our digital signage. So that's a big piece of technology that we use. So we have like no paper signs. I know some laundromats, you walk in and there's paper signs like add a quarter for this, or don't sit, don't put your kid in the car, like all those different things. So
Don't put the kid in the car.
yeah, the things like, don't put your kid in the cart. And so we have a marketing company that helps us generate all of our materials that go on all of our TVs. So we have, like, in our newest store, we have 5 85-inch TVs all over our walls, which is huge. But we're able to, with AI, basically time block and certain day block. So it knows that if it's Friday, these certain things, these ads run for this time of day, morning people, afternoon people. And so that has been great for promotional. And then, the cart thing is every day, all day. But then it's also based on time. So 5 minutes till last, or 10 minutes till last load, there's a roller coaster that takes over the screens and plays like disco music. Not disco, but like rave music. It's like like that, so that people know that they
Like,
have
get
to
it together.
Speed it up.
Let's go.
Speed it up.
It's a psychology thing. And then our lights turn off in sections so that the washer lights turn off, kind of like KaTesha. It is
Yeah, like
a
it turn off over the
changer.
washers first. Like, you
Yes.
better move. You better not be over here.
Yeah,
That's great.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes
Mhm.
them move. And so
Yeah.
the same thing
Yeah.
we've done with our signage, it makes them move. And so
Yes.
that has been huge AI wise for us. And then like I said, just marketing. Marketing has been a game changer for marketing. I think everybody can go with that. So
For sure.
Awesome. I love that. I want to add to my husband and I purchased a folding machine. And when we talk about sensors and we talk about the cost of equipment, all of the
Oh,
things,
God.
it's like it's magic, y'all. Like, it senses where the end of the sheet is and it folds it and it comes
Oh,
out with a beautiful package. And that is AI. Anything using those sensors is AI
wow.
related. And anyway, I just want to encourage you, like, there's significant, like, there are advances coming robotically that will help with the physical labor
Oh,
of
yeah.
laundry. So it's not going to be cheap either. But I just want to encourage everybody to really, like, stay connected with your colleagues, go to conferences, go to the clean show that's coming in Orlando in August, see what's happening in the industry, because while you may not be in a space to buy a folder, you might find something else that really helps your efficiency and your automation and being able to not be the business, but have
Mhm.
the business.
Mhm.
Right. And so with that, I want to just thank our panelists. I know Nika has just a couple more things to say, and we'll get you all out of here on time. Thank you so much to our panelists. Yeah. Appreciate you all.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. I just wanted to share really quick before we end a couple events that we have coming up with CLA. So these are our virtual events, and our next one is on the economics of laundromat ownership on May 28th. Also, we have another Women Laundry Network Q&A. So if you have any questions you've been dying to get answered, it's an open forum, lots of discussions. We've had a couple in the past, and they've been very great, good feedback, and great advice from a lot of the people that are on. And that'll be on June 5th. And then our next one is July 9th. We're going to do a fireside chat with Dr. Wendy Boralabi. She's a sports psychologist for the Chicago Bulls, and she's also our keynote speaker for our women's event at the Clean Show. So she'll do a virtual event with us, get to know us, we'll get to know her, and it'll be just like some pre-teaser to get us excited for Clean Show. And next will be our CLA Connect Live event. So for those of you that don't know, these are our local networking events, typically at a restaurant. People just sit around, talk, casual conversation. Our next one is Denver, Colorado on May 22nd. And as you can see, we have a couple in June and also a couple in July. The pricing is very unaffordable. And if you want to register, you can just go to our CLA website. And the moment we've been waiting for, the Clean Show. Lots of things going on for the Clean Show. August 23rd through 26th. If you have not gotten your tickets, please do so. We're going to have our women's luncheon on Sunday, August 24th, and it'll be from 12 to 2. And the topic will be the spin cycle of strength. And also we're going to do a happy hour the following day on Monday, August 25th. So lots of time put aside for us women to get together and network. That's what we all like to do, right? If you have any questions on Clean Show, any of CLA events, feel free to visit our website at laundryassociation.org. And I just want to give a thank you again to Monica for facilitating, Hannah, KaTesha. I'm sorry, Hannah, KaTesha. Why can't I? And wait.
Natalie.
Oh,
Natalie.
Natalie. Sorry about that, Natalie, for being our speakers today and talking to everyone. I don't have a laundromat myself, but I learned a lot, and I do use AI as well to help with things. So you ladies were great in the discussion, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Alrighty, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.